The biodome shattered like crystalline dreams, and Ella's last conscious thought was of the child. Not her child, never hers, but the small Vexari cub she'd thrown behind the emergency bulkhead before the raiders breached Deck 7. The explosion had torn through her abdomen, and as the vacuum pulled her toward the stars, she'd smiled. The cub was safe. Death should have been final. It wasn't. Ella's eyes opened to blinding white light, and the acrid smell of regeneration gel. Her fingers flexed against smooth metal, and every nerve in her body screamed with the kind of pain that meant cellular reconstruction. She tried to sit up, but restraints held her firm. Subject is conscious, a mechanical voice announced. Human Resilience Index, unprecedented. Survival probability was calculated at 0.003%. Actual survival confirmed. The lights dimmed, and Ella found herself staring at a being she'd only seen in intelligence briefings. A Chromath overseer, 12 feet of chitinous armor and cold, multifaceted eyes that reflected her broken body in 1,000 fractured images. Impossible. The overseer clicked, its translator rendering the statement in flat galactic common. Your species dies easily. We've killed thousands of you. You should not be here. Ella's throat was raw, but she managed a rasp. The cub, the overseer's mandibles twitched confusion. Perhaps the Vexari infants survived. Because of you. It leaned closer, and Ella could smell the ozone that clung to its carapace. You died, human. We monitored your biological functions. Your heart ceased. Your brain activity flatlined for 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Then you began again. Where am I? Our research vessel. We are 3 parsecs from the Cerberus station wreckage. The overseer gestured, and a holographic display materialized, showing the twisted remains of what had been her home. You were the only survivor we recovered, the only one who matters. The restraints released with a hiss, and Ella sat up slowly, cataloging damage. Her abdomen bore fresh scars, pink and raised, where the explosion should have left nothing but absence. Her left arm responded sluggishly. Nerve damage, probably, but healing. She should be dead. By every law of biology and physics, she should be scattered atoms in the void. Why am I alive? The overseer made a sound like grinding metal laughter. She realized with horror, that is what we intend to discover. You are not the first human we've studied, Ella Marchetti, but you are the first to refuse death this completely. They called it the resurrection effect, and Ella became the galaxy's most studied prisoner. The Chromoth ran her through tests that would have killed most sentients twice over. They exposed her too hard vacuum. She survived 8 minutes before her lungs collapsed, then regenerated within an hour. They introduced toxins that dissolved Chromoth flesh. In seconds she vomited blood for a day, then metabolized the poison into inert compounds. They broke her bones, burned her skin, starved her of oxygen. Ella died 17 times in those first 3 weeks. She came back from every death. The overseer, who introduced himself as Skolaj Ven, became obsessed. Your species is soft, he insisted during one of their conversations, his translator unable to mask his frustration. Your bones break like kindling. Your skin tears like wet paper. You have no natural weapons, no armor, no venom. You are prey animals who stumbled into space travel, yet you do not die. Ella, suspended in a diagnostic field while nanoprobes mapped her cellular structure, smiled grimly. We're stubborn. It is more than psychology, Ven countered. He displayed her genetic code, a spiraling cathedral of base pairs that pulsed with bioluminescent markers. This is new. This adaptation appeared in your genome only after your first death. Your body is rewriting its own fundamental architecture in real-time English. Please, you are evolving. Ella Marchetti, not over generations, across heartbeats. Each trauma teaches your cells a new lesson. Each death makes you harder to kill. Ven's mandibles clicked rapidly. You are becoming something your species has never produced before. The implications settled over Ella like a shroud. How many others? Ven hesitated the first time she'd seen the Chromoth show anything resembling uncertainty. We don't know. The phenomenon appears stress-activated. Most humans die before the trigger threshold is reached. You crossed it protecting that Vexari cub. The cub. Ella closed her eyes, remembering small arms wrapped around her neck, wide eyes full of trust. She'd been the station's xenobiologist, had helped deliver the cub after its mother died in childbirth. The Vexari ambassador had asked her to serve as guardian while he negotiated the trade agreements. She'd loved that cub. I want to see it, Ella said. I want proof it survived. Ven showed her the footage. The cub safe aboard a Vexari rescue ship, wrapped in thermal blankets and crying for someone it called Ellie Mother in its whistling language. The ambassador himself had made a statement. To the Galactic Council, declaring Ella Marchetti a hero of two species. They'd also declared war on the Chromath hegemony for her murder. Ven turned off the display. Your death has consequences we did not anticipate. The Vexari have allied with 17 other species. They are calling you the Undying Mother. They are coming for you. Ella felt something cold and sharp crystallize in her chest. Good. The rescue came on day 43. Led by James Corrigan, a human special forces operative with a reputation for impossible extractions. He found Ella in the central research bay, unrestrained, surrounded by data screens showing her own autopsy reports. Holy hell, Marchetti, James breathed, taking in her appearance. She'd changed. Her scars had faded to silver lines that traced patterns like circuit boards across her skin. Her eyes held a light that seemed to come from somewhere beyond human understanding. Intel said you were dead. I was, Ella replied. Several times. James moved efficiently, checking her for tracking devices while his team secured the corridors. Can you move? We've got a narrow extraction window. I can do more than move. Ella stood, and the motion was predatory grace she'd never possessed before. How many Chromath between us and the ship? 32. We've got enough charges to no charges. Ella walked to the bay's sealed door, placed her palm against it. Open it. James stared. That's suicide. They've got plasma cannons covering the corridor. Ella smiled, and it was the smile of something that had learned death was negotiable. James, I need you to understand something. They killed me 17 times trying to figure out what makes humans special. She looked at him, and her eyes held galaxies. They succeeded. Now I'm going to teach them why that was a mistake. She opened the door. The first plasma bolt hit her square in the chest, punching through tissue and bone. Ella stumbled, felt her heart shred, tasted copper and lightning. Then her cells remembered their new purpose, and the wound began closing even as she walked forward into the storm. The Chromath learned in those final terrible minutes what Skolage Ven had discovered too late. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't technology or tactics. It was the simple, stubborn refusal to stay down. When the rescue ship broke atmosphere with Ella aboard alive and whole, despite wounds that should have killed her 100 times over, the galaxy took notice. The girl who died protecting a cub had become something new, a testament to human resilience written in scar tissue and regenerated bone. She was the proof that love could rewrite biology itself, and the universe would never look at humanity the same way again.